Drywall gets delivered, today's Saturday. It gets delivered on Wednesday, I believe. That's what I'm shooting for. And I could get the hangers out here Thursday. Natalie and I have remodeled several houses and learned really quick that drywall sucks. Getting ready to straighten some walls out. So this is just a 1x4. This one I got at the auction. This one I think I've said before, but this was some really nice 1x's. I kind of hate to cut them up like this, but we're using them for our trim too, so that'll be nice. So the first thing I'm going to do is I run this against the wall, and you can see where I've got gaps here where it's pushing out, so that stud has warped a little bit. But you don't want to start in the center. I want to start as close to the outside wall as I can. So I can see here I've got a gap there as well. Now it doesn't tell me that my corner is warped. It tells me that this first stud is warped. It's warped towards me. So what I'm going to do is make some cuts on either side of this with my skill saw, and then that will actually weaken the stud a little bit so I can push it in either direction. A lot of times you can push these on their own, but it's better to make at least one or two cuts to make it move a little easier and stay in place while you're nailing it. So once I get that one done, I'll put the board back up here, and I'm betting this will line up fine. This will line up fine. That one's probably going to be close. That may need to be cut too. But then I'll line it back up and see how it looks. I've got those all straightened and braced. If you get them within 1/8 of an inch, that's acceptable. This one was just a little bit over 1/8 of an inch. So I'm not going to put a board on here, but what I did do is I went ahead and cut a little bit of pieces out of there like that. And so what happens now is when they put their drywall on, the drywall should bend this back where it needs to be, because it's just off just a hair. So you don't necessarily have to put those side braces on every single one. So this wall was really messed up. Barry tried to fix it. He tried to do what I showed in the video before of cutting these and moving them and bracing them. And for some reason, this wall was just totally jacked up. And it seems like the lumber we got occasionally, some of it stayed straight as a board. I get another run of boards and they would all warp. So I'm doing is putting in a stiff back. I'm pretty sure I showed this in the video before. There's one over there on the roof I did. I got one on the ceiling. But what this is basically you're creating a beam which will pull everything straight to the beam. So you use screws with a loose end here that allows the board to slide on it. So as I'm tightening these up, it pulls through, and then it will pull the stud here back to the beam that I just made, or it's called a stiff back, and that'll make it straight as a board. I get screwed in. Walk around to see what nailers I need. So in drywall you need to have something basically in the corner. I need to have a nailer here, here, and the one on the ceiling, so I'm missing one right there. You know, this one has everything surrounded there, so that side's good. So I've already gone through the upstairs and the lower level here. I found 2 spots where I'm missing nailers at. So it's always a bad thing when the drywallers show up and they have nothing to nail to. So I'm missing a nailer from here over to there. So I've already done all the nailers upstairs, just got this one here, or 2 down the lower level, and I'll be done with all the nailers.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Propping up the tub.
What are you doing?
Propping up the tub. I'm shoving
I can't get there.
styrofoam underneath it so it doesn't pop and crack.
You are going to be so messy.
Problem with that?
Here, roll over. Can you roll over on your stomach? Let's see your back. You're leaning up against the styrofoam.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. Oh, geez.
nice thing about this is it's abrasive, so I've been rubbing. You see the underside looks like it's all snowing. Been rubbing the styrofoam on the back of this to shave it down so I can slide underneath. Working pretty good.
Good.
How can I get out? I know how to get out.
Let's look at your back. Turn around. Oh my goodness. You made a mess.
Not that bad.
Look at you.
I've made worse.
That's because you can't see your back. Yes, you have made worse.
I made much worse.
Let me tell some stories. Like the concrete countertops.
Hey,
How about that?
it's not my fault.
It wasn't your fault.
Nope.
And then you did them
It had
again.
nothing to do with concrete countertops.
You had nothing to do with those.
Nope. Nope. That was Sydney's idea.
Oh, Sydney's idea.
And she was 3, but
She was not 3 because I was pregnant with Valerie. She was maybe 18 months.
still her fault.
Still her fault.
That's what you have kids for. She can blame them.
Blame them when they're 18 months old. Okay.
She was like, Daddy, why don't you just do it in here without covering anything up?
And we didn't have cabinet doors either at the time.
Nope.
Right?
I really thought you needed something to do.
Oh yeah, well I was
because you were
pregnant.
bored and pregnant. So cleaning the house after I created dust bomb
I know.
just seemed like a good thing for you to do.
How about the other time? I love
Other
you.
time.
I love you. The basement at our last house. We've remodeled a few houses here.
The
Flipped
fireplace
houses.
had to
Fireplace.
go.
The fireplace, and it was really cool. But then what did you do?
Which part?
The dust in the basement.
I knocked the fireplace out.
You did.
Yeah.
Did you cover anything?
Now they went away
I
for
did.
a week.
No,
And
weekend.
I decided
yeah.
I was going to tear out a old stone fireplace in the basement of the houses. And so I just went to town with a hammer and busted it all out. And I didn't think it was that bad.
It was very exciting to see it, but then I had to clean the basement. Both projects turned out really cool. The kitchen with the concrete countertops, it was really cool. It had concrete countertops, we had black cabinets and pewter hardware. It was really cool looking. And then the other one with the fireplace
We got pictures of
downstairs.
that, too.
We do,
So,
somewhere.
We're doing
They
this
turned
video-
out really
We're doing
cool.
this video. I'll put pictures up of those projects.
Yeah.
So I'm drawing up my fireplace design here, and that's basically what I'm looking at is a couple of shelves on each side. This square right here is the lid that opens up. This is the top view. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing. But I think I'm gonna hold off on doing this right now. I'm gonna build it after the fact. I think getting it done now with all the different angles and things would be difficult. So I'll have them just drywall all this, and then I can put that's my rock concrete board. I can go ahead and put that up where I need it and put everything in afterwards. I think that's going to be the best option for us.
Hi.
Go on. On your electrical, some people will go through and they'll put a plate over every single electrical one throughout the whole house. It's not required. Again, your screws are only going to come in about so far. I'm going to have a good 1/2 inch, 3/4 inches before that drywall screw would even potentially hit these wires. Being in the kitchen area though, I don't know where things are going to be hung at. You know, your screws for your cabinets are deeper. They could go in pretty far. So it's not a bad idea on your kitchen side to go ahead and put those plates anywhere where you're going to penetrate the wood where a potential cabinet could be screwed in at. So we might go ahead and put them down along all these wires on the cabinet side, down through here on the cabinet side. So put these in at 30 inches with my chalk line. 36 inches is where your cabinet goes. The screw is going to be above this wire, but better safe than sorry, right? Oh, this pipe here is my condensation line for the 2 units up there. I'm probably going to take these this trunk off right here. The HVAC guy mentioned that in some of the mini splits he's done, they just leave them open like that, and then they randomly put vents in the ceiling where they want return airs to go through, and that sounds a heck of a lot easier than the way I was going to do it. Hey, math time. And we're going to insulate the walls around the bedrooms, which is what I'm going to start on now. So I think I mentioned before, I've got the wrong insulation. This is made for 2x6 walls, R19, versus 2x4s, which is R13. So I've been trying to research how that's going to affect things sound-wise, because this isn't really used as insulation. It's used just to halt some of the sound, because you know the kitchen's on this side, and so Barry didn't want to have, when we're up in the morning eating breakfast like that, he didn't want to have that noise traveling through. So I've done some research on it, and whether it's wool insulation or fiberglass insulation, it has roughly the same sound deadening quality is what it says, but you can get special sound deadening wool, which is thicker and will help out to raise that value. I think it's STC is the value they talk about, and a typical 2x4 wall with nothing in the middle, just an air gap with 1/2 inch drywall on each side, is a 33. Adding insulation makes it a 39, and then you can get special board, special like soundboard, and that'll bump you up into like 46, I believe it is. But unless you add like 5/8 rock and some extra membrane, things like that, it's tough to get to that 50 is where they want you to be. So I guess at 50 you can't hear anything. At 40, what we're going to get at is where you can hear stuff, but it's not audible, or you can't understand what they're saying basically. But still, if a cabinet door closes on this wall, that sound is going to transfer straight through because it's traveling through the stud. So all this is stopping is air noise will hit that, and it will slow it down and not make it go through all the way. The question I had was on this being thicker, if it's compressed in the wall, I realize when you compress it, you lose R value, but I would think that compressing would make it denser. They talk about the insulation wool or rock wool and how it's really dense, and that helps to deaden the sound. So I would think that if you compress this, it would do the same thing. The research I've done says that it won't, but then in the same next paragraph, it says that denser materials are better. So I don't know. But like I mentioned before, this is what we have. I bought this back before prices went way up when we were doing some insulation, and it's a lot more expensive now. So this is what we got. This is what we're going to use. So basically what I'm going to do is tack it up in the wall with the paper. I'm not worried about vapor barriers here because we're not going from an unconditioned space to a conditioned space. Not worried about there being a vapor barrier. So I'm going to go ahead and tack everything up, and then it'll stick out one side. It'll probably be poofing out like this far when they come in to do the insulation or do the drywall. What?
Excuse me, I've been waiting to have my chickens for you.
For me?
For a while. Well, I've been waiting for everybody because we're going to get like stake things, like those giant peg things.
T-posts?
Yeah, for the...
Well, your mom's in the garage working on the computer. I don't know where Sydney is. Better go find him. I don't know what was going on.
I am mad.
You're mad? Don't be
Yes.
mad. Be glad. Not sad. It's only a fad. Anyways, so the insulation is going to stick way out here, and when I put the drywall on, they'll push it back in when they do that. So this wall, that wall, maybe the wall over there, maybe, and then I go upstairs and start working on the walls up there. continuation of our insulation disaster. Like I said before, Barry was going around and shoving insulation into all the voids he could find. So I've kind of been doing the same here. And the shed I'm looking at is, ooh, let's see if I can turn the light on. See that back there? I don't know if you can even get in there. But I can see decking. You can kind of see a little bit right there. So that goes clear back to the outside decking. So what happens is air would get into that gap, go right out to the exterior wall where there's a major temperature difference, and then condensate, and then that's where you get mold, rot, things like that. And I'm finding these voids everywhere. I mean, all over the place. So it's pretty frustrating, but I'm doing what we can. Here's the office area, so trying to fill in some of these voids everywhere. I found several that go clear out to the decking. A lot of them are in places like here, where the wall or ceiling meets the wall, or in corners, or where I think down here was one where the insulation pulled away from the studs, things like that. So extremely frustrating. I mean, I can't do much about it now than what I'm doing. I honestly don't know if shoving insulation in here is going to fix a whole heck of a lot. But in that void right here, I can see the decking there, I can see it in there, and I can see it in there. So I know from previous video, that big bubble up in here, I found a void when the guys were still here working, and I was able to pull a chunk off, and it went from there to clear about 3 foot wide, all the way to the decking was just gone. So hopefully doing this will at least get some sort of R value in those cracks, and at least stop the moisture or condensation, or the temperature difference from getting through to the outside wall. So hopefully this is doing something. If not, I could be wasting my time, but at least give me a little bit of peace of mind, I guess. And I'm just waiting for drywall now. Everything's pretty much done and ready to go, so it's not really hurting me at all. So we'll give it a shot. Better than nothing.
How exciting! Drywall is here. It has been 2 days, and then actually it was, oh my gosh, it was so cold yesterday. Today's another gorgeous day. Gonna be really nice. Gonna dry out this next weekend. But drywall is here. They got here this morning. We had anticipated them coming this afternoon, since they're actually coming several states away. But they got here early, so we had to scramble to get things ready to go. He's working on the drywall count for each room. Since they came a lot earlier than anticipated today, we hadn't had a chance to go through this. You doing okay? So he's scrambling, trying to get everything done. It'll get done, right, honey? Right?
It may not be correct.
It may not be correct. As long as we get all the drywall we're supposed to get, that's all that matters.
So we're waiting on the drywallers. Today's Saturday. Hopefully they'll show up on Monday. I'm gonna go ahead and get some nailers in for towel bars and things like that. So I went ahead and cut myself a bunch of little pieces. And then this is a load-bearing wall. This wall is actually, the trusses are sitting on it, and then the rafters come off the trusses, and all the panels are sitting on it and everything. So typically what you would do is I would notch out, a 5.5 inch by 3/4 inch for a 1x6, and run it all the way through and then tack it in. But because this is load bearing, I know there's a lot of weight on it. I really didn't feel comfortable cutting into this at all. Although it's probably fine. It's not much of a difference in time saving to do it the way I'm going to do it here, which is just to tack, a piece on there, and then run a 1x6 in between the two. for a nailer. So it'll be an individual piece here, individual piece there, individual piece there. Usually notch them out and everything goes fine. Height wise, typical towel is 5 foot, so 60 inches divided by 2. If it's folded over perfectly, is 30 inches. So I typically put my towel bars either at 36 or 42 inches, and then I go 30 inches up from there, or 32 inches, even better, up from there. So you can get your 2 towel bar heights. That way the towel is off the ground. And then if you go even 36 inches above that, then your the towels are not going to be overlaying each other. So minimum is 30 inches and the towel should be touching. But if you go 34 or 36, you should have a nice gap in between the two.